All right, what is up, Big 12 fans? This is Joseph back with the Big 12 Football Digest, and today we are talking about Cole Kozlowski, 6'2", 230 pounds, coming out of Colgate and transferring to UCF. This is a very talented player coming out of Colgate. Again, at Colgate, he's playing a lower level of competition, but I'm excited to dive in, excited to check him out. We're going to look into some PFF grades and some of the numbers he was able to put up while at Colgate. If you guys are excited about him or if you just appreciate the channel, make sure you smash that like button. Also, comment down below as we go through the video. I want to know what you guys are thinking. The show is also a part of the 1012 Network. 1012 Network sponsored by Charlie Hustle. Use code 101215 at charliehustle.com for 15% off any non-sale items. They have gear for every single Big 12 team, and they did do great stuff. It's very, very cool products, vintage made fresh. Again, that's code 101215 for 15% off any non-sale items at charliehustle.com. Also, if you guys are Big 12 fans or fans of a Big 12 team, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm putting out tons of recruiting content and content in general for every team, and hit the notification bell so you always get an alert. And on that note, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at Cole Kozlowski. Okay, guys, and we are taking a look at the PFF profile for Cole Kozlowski. Now, as we look at this, I want you guys to be aware, as I mentioned before, they were not exactly playing, the cream of the crop in talent. This is not FBS football, but you can still take a lot away from it, right? Like, one thing to point out right out the gate, guys, is they played Akron, which is an FBS school, and he graded out extremely well, a 77.9 against Akron. Lafayette as well, UL Lafayette, I believe that is, which, you take a look there, great grade there, 77.2. So you got to like what we're seeing. And he's proven it against FBS talent. Again, both those schools aren't exactly the highest end of FBS talent, but still. And then what's really going to impress me, guys, as I've grown into like reading PFF grades and really digging into them, I think the number one thing that stands out to me is over here. It's not the grades as much as these numbers, because these numbers can give you an idea of what your grades are for this guy and what you value. So we take a look here. So as a linebacker, he had 15 pressures last season, but more impressively, he had 14 pressures in 2023, and that was only on 46 pass rush snaps. 14 pressures. That is big. That's almost one out of every three pass rush snaps. He's getting back there and he is disrupting the passer. So very cool to know there that you have a guy that can pass rush. But the number one thing that stands out to me, guys, is this past year, he had 43 stops. Now, a stop is listed as a negative or neutral play for the offense, and that's on 322 run defense snaps. So that's over 10% of the run defense snaps that he was playing. He would get a stop at the line or behind the line, so like a TFL. That is a very, very impressive number. Now, one thing to point out, he does have a good coverage grade according to PFF, but when you look a little deeper, he was targeted 28 times this past year, and they caught the ball 23 times for a total reception percentage of 82.1%, which is quite high, and for 13.1 yards per catch. So that's pretty damn high, right? That's pretty damn high. So I would say this, when I'm looking at it, grades be damned. When I look at these numbers, the missed tackle percentage is relatively low. That's not super high, especially when you consider that he's going to take a jump up in competition. You want that to be low, right? And so when you see he has the good pressure rate, he's got the very good stop percentage, and he's got a very low a relatively low missed tackle percentage, I think you should be excited about what you're getting. In a second here, I'm going to give you my final thoughts, but this gives us a bit to look at with Cole here. Okay, guys. And so final thoughts I'm going to give you on Cole Kozlowski. Before I give you guys my final thoughts, make sure you guys smash that like button. And comment down below, what are your final thoughts? Do you think he's an immediate starter? Do you think he might, take some time? Let me check real quick as I ask that question. How much his draft eligible year is 2026, and just doing a little bit of digging here. He probably, my guess would be in 2022. Let me see. How many games did he play in? Well, he did play in 5 games in 2022. So this is actually probably his last year. Is what it is though. So he's coming in. Do you think he's more of a depth guy? Do you think he's more of a immediate starter, impact player? I want to know what you guys are thinking. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you always get updates on your favorite team or just the Big 12 in general, especially if you're a recruiting nerd like myself. So these are my thoughts on Cole. I really like him as a player. I actually think he will come in and be an immediate starter. Now, UCF was slightly below average in passing yards allowed per game, as well as in sack percentage. So they were 73rd in opponent passing yards per game, and they were 69th in sack percentage. So you're bringing in a guy that can rush the passer quite well as that can get back there and rush the passer well and help disrupt the pass play. So I think I like that. UCF was also a top 25 team when it came to yards allowed per rush. So I think he fits what they're trying to do, right? He's going to get in there, get dirty, make ugly plays for the offense, either behind the line or at the line. So I think it's a great fit. So yeah, I like him. I think Cole will be a starter, and I think he'll be a guy that'll probably stand out pretty decently for that UCF defense as long as he can translate to a higher level of competition. All right, well, we're going to get out of here, guys. Like the video, comment down below. Again, we're rebranding the channel from the Utah Youth Football Digest to the Big 12 Football Digest. So if you do want to be along for the ride, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. I am out of here, and go Big 12.